What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right now, and I know my Christmas tree is still up. Don't y'all say nothing about my tree being up. It's gonna come down in March or maybe April. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Don't come on my channel talking crazy, because I will talk crazy back. Nah, man, in all seriousness, this tree gonna come down pretty soon, but it's up for now. Nonetheless, man, so I'm watching the premiere of BMF on Stars, right? And anybody that watches the show knows that Charles and Lucille Flenory are struggling financially, right? They are two working adults that they grew up. They have three children. They struggling to make ends meet at times. So there's a scene where Charles and Lucille are laying in bed, and Charles is attempting to have sex with his wife. She denies him. He said it's been about 3 weeks since the last time they've been intimate with each other. She denies him. She said she got to be up at work in the morning in a few hours, so no, she ain't trying to do that. She ain't trying to do that. And so a lot of people on social media, women in particular, have screenshot that moment where they're laying in bed and he's trying to pull down her nightgown or whatever, and she's denying him. And they saying that Charles Flenory has some nerve in that moment. A lot of women are saying that, I saw a woman put this type of post. She said, struggling and thinking you're about to get some vagina is insane. He had me pissed the F off. Ain't no way he thought he deserved some coochie. Got that woman working at Wendy's and treating her son like shh and can't pay the bills, right? And when I looked to the comments, I saw women saying like, you can't pay the bills, you can't pay the bills, and you can't pay all these bills, and you struggling, and you expected to get some sex? How does that work in society? How that work? Ain't no way I'm finna get wet for no man that, struggling and barely paying the bills. And I'm like, hold on, see, stuff right here, this is why the divorce rate is what it is. This is why it is as high as it is. But because it wasn't like Charles Flenory was not working. It wasn't like, he wasn't having no job and he was laying at home on his butt and he wasn't doing nothing with his life. It wasn't like he wasn't trying to come up with a plan to try to get their family in a better position, right? He gonna use the money from Terry's settlement to start a business to try to get some income flowing in. The legit way, the legitimate way, which is honorable as a man. They were two working adults. Times were just hard. They were struggling, right? So because they struggling, no sex allowed? Let me ask y'all this. They've been struggling for a while. Struggle didn't stop them from having one child, two children, or three children. So now in this moment, sex don't, now it's just like, sex is off the table now? Because we struggling. They've been struggling for a while, right? And again, it wasn't like the brother wasn't out here trying to make ends meet, working his butt off. It's just that in today's society, a lot of women determine your, I guess, the not the sexual responsibility. They discover they try to put a label on, you only deserve sex if you're making this money, and all of that. You only deserve sex if you're making this type of bread, and all of this. And I'm like, when have we got like this as a society? Because a lot of black folks that we know come from struggle. Right? Our parents were struggling, a lot of us, right? Not all of us, but a lot of our parents, they faced some struggles. I'm not going to put the blanket on all of us like we all just came from poverty, but a lot of us did come from dire situations or, circumstances where we was without heat in the winter, so on and so forth. And our mamas and daddies were still having sex, right? See, now with today's time, it's easy because in the age of the city girls and all of that, it's easy to associate a man's bank account with if he is worthy enough for sex or not, right? But, during that time period, it was a different time, different thing. And I think that people will say stuff like today, we can say, a lot of us, even men will say this, if you broke, you ain't entitled to no sex. You don't deserve no sex. If you broke, you don't need no sex if you broke, right? Man, listen. When has poverty ever stopped people from having sex? When has that ever occurred? It's been happening for the longest. So that is not a end all be all for sex, like especially in this situation where the brother is he's working his tail off, right? And people like, well, he's stupid, he's too prideful to take money from his children, he's too prideful to take money from Meech and Terry, he too prideful to take money from Meech, who out here getting it and getting to the money and hustling. Y'all praising Meech and all that, right? Look at the alternative. If Charles Flenory started to take money, if he was just openly just taking money from Meech, that would give Meech the okay that my father is okay with this and my father and family need this, which would push him even harder into the dope game, right? He already harder. He probably pushing anyway because to try to help them out anyway. But the moment his father gives in and says, okay, son, we need your help, he gonna try to become the biggest kingpin there ever was. Now, Meech already was trying to do that anyway, but it will make his drive even harder and feel like he could never get out the game because my father is depending on me now. My father, the man who is the head of the household, is giving me the green light. He needs my help. He needs my assistance. He's gonna drive him further into the dope game. And in the long run, look where the hell Big Meech is at right now. He in jail, locked up right now, got to watch his own show about his own life with his son playing a role from behind bars. So an alternative, is that a good option? Because they trying to clown. Everybody want to make Meech and them, like, praise Meech and them for, Meech and them getting to it. Meech is in jail right now. I got more money than Meech right now. You feel me? In the situation he in. Now, granted, he probably got money put up somewhere. Well, so maybe I don't, right? But nonetheless, I'm in a better living situation right now than Meech. You are in a better living situation than Meech. Meech getting told when he can go take a shower, get on the phone with his people, see his family, when he can go watch TV, when he can go outside, so on and so forth, when he can eat. So no, bro, like, as a father, even if you struggling and all of that, I would never, like, I understand where he coming from. To say I'm not going to give in to my children being in the dope game and just be taking money from them, because it's going to give them the okay that I, their father, their number one role model in their life, I am saying it's okay to do what you're doing to feed poison to the community and to dive into illegal activity, which could land you in jail for the majority of your life. And as a father, I'm never going to co-sign that. Even if we struggling, I'm going to try to figure out something better to get us another way rather than just be having to giving my sons the okay to being in the drug game. That stuff like that sound cool to y'all now in today's climate because a lot of y'all deal with scammers. You know, a lot of y'all deal with card crackers and all of that. That sound cool now. But when you got your own children and you don't want your children to go into lead into their own demise. You don't want your children to lead a life where they're going to head into their own demise. Like, come on, you don't want them to go down the wrong road. You're going to be like, no, you're going to try to steer them away from that. Even if it means, you know what, I can't, bro, I can't take the money from you, even if I'm struggling. Even if it means you got to go. If you out here, now, I don't agree with the fact that he was treating Meech differently than he was Terry. I don't agree with that at all. Like, nah, we ain't going to do that. You know what I mean? And I'm going to love my son, but I ain't going to be okay. I ain't going to just take the money that he got coming into the situation. I'm not going to take the money, illegal money, you know, just because, I need it. I'm not going to take no drug money from him because that's going to give him the okay that selling drugs is cool. Also, man, this is the thing that kills me when women say, you don't deserve no PUSSY if your bank account ain't fat and you ain't all this and all of that, right? Because, see, a man's worthiness of sex is always attached to money nowadays, right? Nowadays, a lot of times it is. But you know what's crazy? A man is still expected to perform for his woman sexually, even when she been unruly, even when she been causing hell all day long, even when she just been out here just acting belligerent, acting out her damn mind, cussing folks out, having an attitude all day, being snarky, being mean-spirited. She ain't gonna never think it's okay to deprive her of sex, is she? Hell no. You know it and I know it, right? But a man, he's supposed to just, like, for a woman, it's just, if the money ain't good, if you ain't making no money, if you struggling with these, even when you making a hard, honest living, trying to get to it in the best way you can, right? She's still gonna say your bank account ain't fat enough, so you don't deserve this. What? Like, what are we talking about now? What world are we living in? Like, I can't co-sign that. Because again, a woman can be belligerent all day. She can cuss folks out, have an attitude all damn day. But at the end of the day, when she want to be up for some intimacy, the man supposed to just give it to her, right? That's what is expected. But when the man, he making an honest living, he trying to work and trying to make ends meet, and he still wants to be intimate with his wife, she, we struggling, we struggling, girl. We struggling, boy. Man, we struggling, man. Now I understand that sometimes when you're struggling, your mind goes to other places and goes to other things. You're trying to figure out ways to get money and try to help your family. And that does happen. But a person's overall sex drive does not just go completely dull because they're struggling. That's never that. Come on, bro. That's never been a thing in society. The brokest people in the world have a lot of kids. You know, so what are we talking about now? You know, again, they always been struggling, and it stopped them from having one child, two children, or three children. So what in the world are we doing? You know, but I just feel like that, like when women try to make them posts, that allows wiggle room for them to co-sign this narrative that a man who's not making a certain amount of money doesn't deserve to be intimate with his wife. He doesn't deserve intimacy if he isn't making this, that, and the third. Man, listen. A woman, that what's crazy is, like, even with the Kevin Samuels rhetoric and all of that, right? A woman, people will say a woman is deserving of sex no matter what type of bank account she got, for the most part. So it's like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? But I think, again, this is why marriages are, like, end early. Not because, oh, you just ain't giving me no sex or whatever. But it's like, you're trying to attach Charles Flenory's value as a man to how much is in his pocket when he's trying to work. He's trying to do something. He's trying to make something shake and work honestly and legitimately, so in a way where he won't be taken away from his family, where they will be in a worse position than they were before. Because if he leaves, and he leave, and him and Meech and all that, they all go down, what's going to happen to the little girl, his daughter? What's going to happen to her? You know, and ultimately, look what happened in the long run. Look what happened in the long run. Now, in the real story, I think Charles Flenory eventually became with it at some point. He got in trouble too. But for the sake of the movie, so far, for the sake of the show, he not with none of that. And I can respect it in a way. Like, I can respect it for sure. Because I don't want my sons to lead a life of destruction and give them the green light, because we struggling, son. So go ahead and sell that dope. Go ahead and push that dope, son. Give me that dope money, baby. Come on, boy. Like, nah, bro. Even though I love my child, I know my child, I recognize that my child is trying to do something out of the love for me. I can understand a father saying, no, I'm not going to accept that money because it's coming from some stuff that's going to lead you to jail. That's going to lead you right behind bars for the rest of your life. And ultimately, that's what Meech was at. Big Meech ain't been around for Little Meech, like physically, since Little Meech was an itty bitty baby. Got to watch his own show behind a jail cell, in prison. That's nothing cool about that. I'm sorry. Like, so all of that, again, it's so crazy to me. Like, a man is not, a woman shouldn't be intimate with her husband because he ain't making this amount of bank and this amount of bread. But let that woman be crazy, belligerent all day, cussing folks out, just snarky and mean as hell. Let her be acting like Satan in his human form all day. Then when she ready to cuddle, hey baby, okay boo, hey boo boo. Now you supposed to just give it, that a man just supposed to just give it to her. Hell no, not over here. I'm sorry. So yeah, just because they ain't well off financially, he's just not deserving of no intimacy because he ain't making this. That's that city girl lingo. Y'all listen to too much damn Cardi B. What's Carisha now? And Carisha out here getting swindled and like, I don't care how much money she getting from Diddy. She out here getting she down with the program, and y'all ain't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she getting money. She down with that program though. Nonetheless, and again, but it's co-signing the whole notion that if you got bank, anything goes. Cause she riding with Diddy out. He got that bank. She don't care what he got going on, right? What's the other girl now? Cardi B. They listen to all them. You ain't got bread. You ain't this and that. And listen to Megan Thee Stallion. All them all you want to. That's what's driving the narrative now, that if you ain't got no money as a man, you ain't deserving of nothing. But I got to change the narrative because I got a son that's going to be out here dating in this world. I don't want him to feel like, I want my son to be a hustler. I want him to go out here and go get it. I want him to get his education. I want him to be a leader. I want him to be a guy who tries to make things happen and puts himself in the best position to take care of his family without question, right? But I don't want him to feel like his value or worth as a man is only associated to the dollars in his wallet or dollars in his bank account. That's not the only thing that determines your manhood. It's out here, if you standing on your principles and morals, you out here trying to do it in a legitimate way for your family to get them to where they need to get, right? I got little cousins them out here. I don't want them to think that, oh, if you ain't got 6 figures, you just don't deserve no woman. If you ain't out here making 90,000 a year, you ain't deserving of no section. You ain't got no, you struggling a little bit. You just ain't worthy for no woman in this world. Because that's what the narrative a lot of women out here trying to lead. Especially with posts like this. Like the brother Charles Flenory is not trying. Like, like he just leaving Lucille out to dry. Talking about she got to work at Wendy's, brother. Back in the day, sometimes some couples, both of the parents was working. Not back in the day with Big Mama and them. When your mama and them was living. Mama had to go work. Okay? Even when daddy was getting it. My daddy was out here getting to the money. My mama had to go work. She went to go work too. She worked. Shoot, Frederick's of Hollywood. She worked at the airlines. Had to go get it. My grandmama was working at Harris Casino when my granddaddy was doing his thing at the post office. It was what it was. Oh, she got to work at Wendy's. So when we too good for Wendy's now? Oh, don't do no, she got to work at Wendy's. Oh, Lord, she got to work at Wendy's. Oh, gee. Man, go get that Wendy's money. Sure. Wendy's paying too. Yeah, she got to go work there. It is what it is. Acting like she at the lowest scum of the earth, like the lowest of the low, because she working at Wendy's. You know how many folks' mamas worked at Wendy's? How many folks' grandmamas worked at Wendy's? How many folks' sisters and wives worked at Wendy's? It just is what it is, man. They struggling. She gonna have to work because they struggling. And he trying to do his thing. I think he working at General Motors or some motor company, trying to get to it in an honest way, trying to make ends meet the best way possible. It ain't like he laying on his back, scratching his balls, and sniffing his nuts at home. That ain't what the man doing, man. That post killed me, man. But yeah, I'm not gonna let my cousin them think that their value as a man is attached to how much money revenue they bringing in. And if they ain't making 75, 80K, you just don't deserve no intimacy from the woman. Her vagina shouldn't get wet for you because you ain't. Man, get up out of here with that. Get up out of here with that. Because let me tell you something right now. Ain't no woman telling no man you shouldn't get erect for a woman who ain't making this amount. You shouldn't get erect for a woman when her attitude is all crazy, when she mean as hell, when she mean-spirited, when she a mean girl, when she obnoxious. Ain't no man telling no other man or women in general, ain't no woman telling a man he shouldn't get erect for that woman. She gonna say, that's your woman. Make her feel good for somebody else do. You know what I'm saying? Just like men do it too for men too. I ain't gonna say like they don't. Men do that too, for real. But ain't no woman gonna tell you shouldn't get erect for that woman. No, because she ain't helping bringing no income in. And what? And she acting crazy. That's not gonna be a thing, man. So that's what I'm saying. But hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.